Hello. Welcome to my breakdown of the first week of 75 Hard. If you're like me and you have been contemplating whether to do the 75 Hard or not, thinking, I don't know, it seems a little bit crazy. That was totally me for the past couple years. I've watched some coaches, some fitness influencers do the 75 hard challenge, thinking like, oh, could I do that? Well, I definitely couldn't do the gallon of water. I definitely couldn't do the no alcohol. I definitely couldn't do the 2 workouts, especially outside. So if that's you, but like secretly deep down, you want to do it or you want to challenge yourself. One of the things I really like about this was a program originally created by Andy Frisella. Check out his podcast, some great resources there. There's also some opt-ins. I also have done my Fearless Feminine version of that, which is a little softer. If you've seen Andy Frisella, he's, a bro. And so if you there is a 75 soft, we'll talk about that. Anyway, I got you. And I just want to share tips and sort of a success story for getting through. I'm on day 9 of the 75 hard and I'm feeling great. Like I'm really getting some results. I want that for you too. If you don't know me, I'm Dr. Megan Monday. I am a pleasure psychologist. What does that mean? That's something that I've personally coined because I have done a lot of coaching around pleasure, and there's just not a lot of good stuff around pleasure. A lot of us are doing it in the unhealthy way, and a lot of us are scared to feel good in our life. And so people have come to me for therapy for the past 12 years to feel good, and yet it's really dicey. A lot of us have trouble feeling good. And one of the things that I think definitely applies to this, which is sort of a mindset shift that I've been going through the past year or two, is easy decisions, hard life, hard decisions, easy life. So what does that mean? Well, a lot of our pleasure hacks that are maybe not good for us, think like substance use or overeating, literally those are self-medication strategies. They're coping skills, and when we don't have any other coping skills, like sometimes they help us survive. And they can create kind of long-term problems for ourselves. And so for me, I think the biggest thing I had to heal that was sort of the prep work for 75 Hard was healing my relationship with consistency. Consistency used to be a dirty word to me. I'm like a free spirit, and I'm a freedom person, and I don't want to be caged in. I've been an entrepreneur for 12 years. Academia definitely made me sort of buckle against anything that felt like rigid or imposed upon me. And that really is truly why I became an entrepreneur. And that's who I talk to, is women who want to be entrepreneurs or change makers of some sort. So back to 75 Hard. Let's hit it. I think that there is a long contemplation phase. So I think if you are watching people do it, I loved going down the YouTube rabbit hole of 75 Hard, and that actually did inspire me to make a video, because just hearing people sort of solve for some of the problems that come up and just hearing the success stories is so freaking inspiring. So highly recommend that. But hopefully you can watch my journey, and I have incorporated it into the Fearless Feminine. So Fearless Feminine is my sort of make money online business program for new business owners or someone like myself who has had a business for a long time but is transitioning to online. And so Fearless Feminine is all about tapping into your feminine power, which is like, how do we receive from the universe what we truly desire, and releasing scuffle hustle and scarcity and hustle. Okay, I feel like I lived that. Definitely being a high achiever myself, academia was like, the means justify the ends. Just do it. You got to hit this deadline. And so I think fast forward 20 years and I found myself kind of in a midlife burnout. I was looking at 40 and I felt like I was not where I wanted to be health-wise. And again, I had this like toxic relationship with consistency. It felt like control. And consistency really is not about control. It's about self-prioritization. So if you're a people pleaser, if you're a mom, If you're a service-based business owner, guess what? You're probably taking care of lots of people. I know I was. And that can lead to a lot of burnout. It can lead to compassion fatigue. It can also just lead to unhealthy lifestyle. And so the 75 hard is such a good way to really build those habits of consistency. So I think Andy Frisella, genius. I love that he came up with this. So I do want to give him credit. This is his intellectual property. I'm just doing kind of my own spin on it. But he went through this life-changing journey where he calls it a mental toughness challenge, which I really like because it can be tough. It is extremely mental, as in we need the right mindset. And he was already pretty fit, but if you go to his page and look at the before and afters, they are amazing. If you don't know what the 75 hard is, let me just run through it really quick. It's also in the description. So an eating program of your choice, a gallon of water, a 45-minute workout of your choice, a 45-minute workout outside of your choice, no alcohol, no cheat meals, 10 minutes of reading a day, and a progress pic. So that's like the Andy Frisella formula. Now I'll give you my version of it. I'm doing gluten-free. I am doing the gallon of water a day. I'm switching up my workouts. For the past 2 years, I've been doing Tuesday, Thursday, 8 a.m. grit classes. That is a heck of a workout, but again, I've been building to that. So that was kind of something that I was already doing. It was only 2 days a week, so I had to find 5 more. Something that's also really worked for me in the past is Zumba. That is definitely like a fearless feminine type of workout because it's like juicy and lots of like hip circles and like getting into your body, and it's like creative and flow. So I actually hadn't done Zumba. I kind of traded grit for Zumba. The times just hadn't been working for me. So I said, I've made some times work this time because I've had to. But so basically Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I do Zumba. Tuesday, Thursday, I do grit. So those are like my 5 workouts. Now, again, I'm only on day 8 here, so I'm definitely like fresh with the beginner's guide here. I thought drinking a gallon of water was going to be like impossible. I will say one of the things I was probably doing not good at, unskillful at, was drinking water. And so I thought it was going to be really hard to get my water in. I've had really giant water bottles, which if that works for you, that's very cool. I ended up getting 2 of these, and basically a gallon is 4 of these a day. So actually 2.5 in. So one tip is try to get your water, like half your water in by noon. I think it's a great tip. It's 2:30 p.m. now. And then I think for me, I'm packing 2 water bottles, but there's just something about drinking the smaller water bottle that's made me more successful. It seems more manageable, goes pretty quickly. So I just know I have to hit like 4 of those. And so the exercising a lot has actually made it super easy to drink the extra water. I usually do 1 with each workout, and then just, like sort of like an AM bottle while I'm working. And then like I will usually have some left at night that I just finish out. So highly recommend the gallon of water. My skin already looks so much better. I was literally at a healing session and they were like, you need to drink more water, which a lot of healers say, but this particular one was like, I don't usually say that, so you must really need to. So I do know dehydration was a huge piece. I think it was creating a lot of mood swings, which I was blaming on like hormones and motherhood and being over 40, but I think I found the culprit, and it was dehydration. So anywho, highly recommend that. I definitely think after the 75 hard, I'm just going to keep this gallon of water thing going. I think that has been the best thing so far, and I think it's super sustainable. And the more water I drink, the more thirsty I am. So it's kind of miraculous, and obviously we're mostly water, so we need water to be our best selves. I'm going to do a video on the gluten-free thing, but I think, you really do need to convert over your kitchen. Obviously, you could do keto, you could do high protein, you could do whatever your thing is. I would say I would not pick a very extreme diet because you're working out so much and there's already so many other restrictions. So I think if you did like strict keto, like the induction, I feel like that could be too much. So for me, since I was doing gluten-free, I really did let myself eat whatever I wanted, especially as my body was adjusting to working out so much. And I was also trying to hit protein. So I was trying to hit like at least 100 grams of protein. So it was sort of, I would say gluten-free, high protein was kind of more the diet that I picked. Like I was saying earlier about the dialectic, it's rigid in the sense that you have to hit these things, but then it's flexible in that you can pick your workout, you can pick your diet, which I think is great, because one thing I've learned as a coach and as a psychologist is that we really do need to customize. Everybody's different. What works for you may not work for me, and vice versa. So I think customizing is really huge. I kind of modified a bit. I'm working on a book, which I'm going to do a whole series about. And I'm in the middle of launch for Fearless Feminine, so mindset's a priority for me. So instead of reading 10 pages, like I'm always listening to a podcast or reading or doing something self-improvement. I'm like a self-improvement addict, so I really didn't need that piece. So instead, I just decided I'm either going to write a page of my book or do a page of mindset affirmation kind of work. So I've been doing one or the other. I'm back to the consistency thing. If I were to write a page of my book every day, by the end of it, it would have 75 pages. So yeah, that's a good plan. But it's usually been at the end of the night. And to be honest with you, I have dialed it in, and I've mostly done affirmations. I have tried to add pleasure to that and make it kind of a little goddessy ritual. And how can I bring pleasure in? I don't want to say too much about that, but join Fearless Feminine and I'll tell you the details behind what that looks like. The progress picture. So I'm posting on social, I'm sharing my journey, partly for accountability, because I feel like if I had not made it part of my Fearless Feminine launch, I might have quit. But because I said I'm going to do these 75 days on social and I'm going to vlog about it, that has kept me honest. I watched in someone's video that they said they take the progress picture first thing. And I was like, wow, that's really good. And then as people were documenting the journey, they would do like day by day by day, like sort of reels or shorts or whatever. And so I was like, oh, okay, I've just been taking pictures and like posting, but I hadn't really been doing like the full length picture where I could do a montage. So now I'm doing like a beginning picture so that I can do that like really cool graphic when I do like my graduation video. So excited for that. I will say, like, a side effect of posting all these like workout pictures is this has been very freeing to post like gross sweaty pictures of myself online. I think having been posting regularly-ish for a few years now, growing my online business, sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like I look good today, or I don't want to be on camera or whatever. And so a big thing we do in Fearless Feminine is camera confidence. You got to have the courage to be real and raw and authentic. That's what Fearless Feminine's all about. And so I really wasn't like planning on having this, but posting all these gym pics of me looking gross, kind of, and I know gross is a judgment. I don't even mean to say that like in a harsh way. I just mean like sweaty and red and like greasy, maybe non-judgmental versions. That's what I'm trying to say. Has been super freeing. And then when I do post like a glam picture, it does feel like, ooh, I got like the real and raw combo. I have like the professional me, and then I have the workout Megan. So anyway, that's kind of been freeing. I totally didn't expect that. Same thing with the hydration factor, the less mood swings, the clearer skin, another unexpected bonus. So these are the results that even at day 9 are rolling in. So, and some of them are very unexpected. All of the 75 cardio, it is cardio and hard videos that I've been watching, people are like, it changed my life, man, and I think I'm going to be in that camp because a week in, it's already changed my life. And I think one thing I just want to normalize is it is hard. Okay. Hence the name 75 Hard. My daughter keeps reminding me that when I complain. And so one thing I've noticed for the first week is there's been highs and lows. Like, I'm really feeling the benefits of the water. I'm feeling the benefits of the exercising. And I'm detoxing. I'm sweating a lot. It's hot out. Like I said, my allergies are a little bit worse. Instead of being a little like indoor couch potato, I'm like out there doing the things. And so I've found that it was a little bit of a high-low experience. I either felt like on top of the world, wow, I could really do this. This is changing my life. Or I felt like, I don't want to do this. Okay, so it was like one or the other, which is, it can make you feel a little all over the place. I'm trying to use non-judgmental terms here. So just, that's part of it. Okay. But I think overall, the highs have been worth the lows. And I just want to say, like, it gets to be hard. This is a hard thing to do. It requires a lot of self prioritization. And that's really what I'm focusing on now as part of the consistency. If you don't like the word consistency, if you don't like rules, if you don't like schedules and routines, think of it as self prioritization. I have to prioritize myself. When I went to Zumba last night, my family was like, "Where are you going? Oh, you're leaving?" And I'm like, "Yeah, bye." Okay, so I had to prioritize myself. And so often I've been like caught up in people pleasing and caretaking and embodying self neglect, which, ew, that's not the fearless feminine way. The fearless feminine way is, receiving through overflow, right? But we kind of got to get into embody those vibes. And a lot of that is saying no and putting yourself first. So that's something I'm always working on. This has been such a huge part of that because literally there's just not enough hours in the day. As far as like practical tips for getting started, I would say do your research. I think it's helpful, like with the eating program, if you've done something that you've done before. Like I've gone gluten-free, so it wasn't a huge shock to me. I'm going to do a video all about gluten-free stuff later on. I told you the water bottle tip. Some tips that I saw in videos was to buy socks and workout gear, and that was definitely something I treated with myself with, especially the first day. That's first day and first week. I'm a big fan of treats and also like habit stacking. So if you have something sort of unpleasant, you stack it with a more positive one, and then, they kind of fuse together and you start to like the thing you didn't like before. So I rewarded myself with some cute workout gear, and I manifested it all on sale. Love a deal. So I manifested a bunch of capri yoga pants for $6 at Target. Thank you. And I ended up going to all the Targets, and I ended up with 5 or 6 pairs, and I found all these clothes. And socks. Okay, I actually hate socks. I don't usually wear socks, but socks are necessary when you're working out that much, and just buying like a couple pairs of packs of socks. So that was a great tip. Meal prepping is something that I typically do anyway, but really getting like organized meal prepping. The first week I probably did go to the grocery store like every day, just like really switching my kitchen over to gluten-free. And just when you're working out that much and starting a new eating program, you can be like hungry the first week, and you just have to kind of, again, self-prioritize, that sort of thing. So meal prepping has been a godsend for sure. And then one thing that I like to do with my meal prep as well is just like when I find a meal that I really going ahead and prepping it across the week. So when you can simplify and not eat if you can eat the same thing every day, then it's like way less prep. So obviously you can prep ingredients and then mix and match. So I do consider myself a foodie and a chefy kind of person. And so I definitely found some new meal prep channels that I'm really liking. I'll put some of those in the comments below because I can't think of them off the top of my head. But that's been really fun. And I created a checklist. So just really having that checklist is really huge. I've found that the writing a page a day has been creatively fulfilling. So that's been a really good tip. And then I think just like embracing the identity of the show up girl. So like the show up woman who shows up even when it's hard. And I'm going to be real. I like dialed it in on my workout today because I had worked out 2 hours at the end of yesterday right before bed. And then I had the 8 a.m. grit. So I felt like sore and it was all I could do. But you know what? I showed up and I checked it off my list, and that feels really freaking good. So yes, my goal is to get 75 women, or men, I guess, if you want to. I primarily work with women, but, if you're along for the ride, fine. Get 75 women to do the 75 hard with me. So I hope to be the inspiration that if I can do it, I'm like people pleaser, ADHDer, overworker, thyroid, PCOS, over 250 pounds. Like, I've got all these things that maybe could convince me that I haven't done it, or let's just say I haven't done it in the past, right? But if I can do it, like, you can do it. And if you think you have to be crazy to do something like this, maybe a little. I'm going to go ahead and own that a bit. But also, like, I'm a therapist, so I am an expert at helping people through life transitions, transformations, executing the results. And I'm also a feminine power embodiment coach. So I really help people uncover their truth, share it with the world to shift the paradigms. So, if you want to come along on the ride for the 75 hard, I am not a fitness influencer per se. I really do mental health, mindset, spirituality, healing sorts of things. So, if you like that stuff, that's more of my content. But this is just behind the scenes, sort of watch me on my journey, and we'll see where this goes. So, thank you so much for watching, and I'll put the links down below. Bye.